Yo, 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 what's up? What's up? What's up? Appreciate you for coming in, tapping the like. What's good? Let me know if you can hear me good. Let me know if you can hear me good. Keeping the content going. What's up, Russell? What's up, Dylan? Tap in, drop them likes, man. How y'all feeling this morning? Good to see y'all, man. Had to handle some business yesterday. What up, Russ? All right, so y'all can hear me good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. How's everybody doing, man? Good to see everybody. Listen, yesterday was kind of different for me. I had to make a living situation change. As you all know, I'm leaving for school. I go to UHP here in about 4 days now. What's today? Wednesday? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, 4 days. I leave. What's up, Dr. Frank? Bishop Frank, what's good, man? Yeah, but I leave in 4 days to go off to school for my personal training certification, man. I'm going to test out and become a certified personal trainer. And I'm also just found out yesterday I'm going to have the option to train, to test out for my master training certification, which will put me in qualification and provide me certifications and credentials that would allow me to do things in my immediate future that will greatly benefit the growth of my network and just the brand in general. So excited about this opportunity coming up. But a few announcements before we get into talking about football and everything. And yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Say what's up to everybody in the chat, man. I want to make sure I wave at everybody. Let me see. Say what's up to everybody. And continue to share it up. We're going to be talking here for about 30 minutes. We're going to do about 30 minutes. What's up, Arta? Good to see you. Going to be here about 30 minutes, y'all. Like I said, just conversation. But I don't know if you all saw the post yesterday on Twitter. I've been invited, and just like other media personalities and people that cover Alabama, have been invited to a private viewing for the new movie about Nick Saban and Bear Bryant and all of this stuff. So let me pull up the little email. It was a big happening. I wasn't expecting it. So where did it go? Nothing But a Winner. Alabama film. The Alabama film, Nothing But a Winner. This is the story, and I could actually look at the trailer again. I don't know if y'all can see this good. Yeah.
Alabama, without bragging, is the greatest college football program in the history of college football.
And Alabama is not just football. It's just a way of life.
Hey, if we don't win a national championship, that's a bad Alabama season.
Yeah, so that documentary, that series, I've been invited to a private viewing in Atlanta for SEC Media Day next week. It's going to kick off SEC Media Day. So, hey Dylan, yeah, I like the fact that the community is speaking up in my defense. I appreciate it. What's up, Darius? Good to see you. I appreciate it. And it's all for entertainment, y'all. At the end of the day, if honestly, I would like for y'all to just continue to state facts. You know, a lot of those accounts they're Twitter troll accounts, Alberta accounts, whatever they want to call each other. Um, I don't even respond to them. They don't have enough followers. They don't provide enough engagement for me. So yeah, but like when we get big name people with, yeah, that's when we actually engage. That's good. That's all of it is good publicity when it comes to this industry. So yeah. But yeah, so what's the talk today, man? What's the talk in Bama Nation? I really want to have a conversation. I know recruiting is getting kind of it's dying down. We're getting to the phase of where players have made most of the big names have made their commitments. We were even right about Braden Ross too. Ain't nobody even want to say nothing about that. I told y'all Braden Ross was not going to be an Alabama commit, and I knew Tennessee was in there. Texas was trying to make that push, but Tennessee had his he was locked Tennessee for sure. That was just the perfect fit. Had a good visit when he came to T-Town, but I think even then he was saying how, Tennessee was definitely in his top. So good to see that commitment go through. Was talking to who was it? Emmanuel Ruffin. I was talking to Emmanuel Ruffin recently, the 2026 defensive lineman. I think Alabama's recruiting him to play defensive tackle. And I'm not going to say I think. Alabama's recruiting him to play defensive tackle. This is one of those young men, 6'5", 290. That's and can play tackle, offensive tackle, but you get him on that defensive side of the ball, man, and yeah, he's different, man. He's a different type of animal when it comes to the work. I mean, this boy, and he's a bigger version. This right here, this clip here, 6'5", 290, moving like that. What's up, Isaiah? So that's Emmanuel Ruffin still in the runnings. Alabama still in the runnings to get his commitment. A lot of people believe it's Miami. I think in state right now, looking at this defensive line class, Alabama wanted to add at least two more interior guys to this class. And everybody keeps talking about they keep trying to check my numbers on the players that we want to sign in this class. There are 27 scholarships available in this class. We currently have I want to say 21 commits, 19 commits. I'm not gonna do my projected. I know for a fact I got 21 on my list, but Alabama. Let's go. The commits. $19. All right, so we got 19 right now. And I think we're going to end up with 21 before the summer ends. So, looking at this class, man, I keep telling y'all Alabama's going to target another, at least one more wide receiver. I see two more on the radar. But on the defensive side, interior defensive lineman, Emmanuel Ruffin was a guy that we had on campus second week of June, the second week of visit, I believe. Or was E-Man on his last visit? I always get Ruffin and the young man out of Bessemer. I mean, not Bessemer. The young man Golden. I always get them because their style of play, offensive line wise, is so similar frames, all of that stuff. So really solid. Oklahoma beat y'all to pieces. Go Sooners. Red lag. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Just keep that same energy. He came Big Bama weekend, Manuel Ruffin. Keep that same energy this year when y'all come to T-Town. And the fact that an Oklahoma fan pops up in here talking trash is funny to me. You better hope Materia is the answer because that defense only going to be able to last probably like the first 4 or 5 weeks. I think Oklahoma going to have Oklahoma gonna have a solid season. Coach Smook, is it a call-in show today, bro? Do it look like it's a call-in show today? We having a conversation. I'm an Auburn fan, and we have a sad ending to the year every single season. Yeah. And until y'all get to end the season in Jordan here, Auburn actually has I believe Auburn has a better chance to be a team to worry about than Oklahoma. Let's just put it like that. Let's start that conversation. Spook, ain't nobody worried about Oklahoma. I'm just saying. I'm not, honestly. I think they're going to be a solid team, but coming into T-Town this year, that late in the season, it's going to be ugly. Oh, shout out to the 21 in chat. Continue to run the likes up. Um, yeah, double tap the screen to like it if you're watching on your mobile phone, or even if you listen, double tap your screen real quick. Hit the likes. But the rotation in the defensive line room, and we talking about Alabama continuing to load up the D line in this class. Emelian Ruffin is one get that I think would be a huge get. Good morning, Mary J. Good morning. I'm sorry I'm late this morning too, y'all. Like I said, I had to change my living situation last minute. And it's only because I'm leaving for school Monday and I'm trying to maximize my finances while I'm in transition. So be looking for a new studio setup in August by kickoff. We're gonna be I got two spots that I'm really thinking about leaning towards, and I'll know by the second week of, not next week, the week after. I'll know by then where I'm gonna be at, and I'll be moving in as soon as I get back. So Rondo, what's good, man? Good to see you, my guy. Rondo Mack in the chat. Everybody in the chat, continue running the likes up, man. So, but yeah, D line, man. Talking about this year's D line, Alabama's defensive line, and I'm gonna walk around a little bit. I'm probably gonna go outside. Probably stand out front if I can. Let's do it like this. D line, Alabama D line, right now. The rotation to me is probably, and I'm talking about impact rotation. I'm not just talking about guys on roster. I know we have. Oh, I know I hyped up and with legitimacy talked about the level of caliber of player that we have in the defensive line room at Alabama, right? And I look at it and I say, and I think this is probably the most talent depth room next to the secondary in the secondary. Maybe not as many bodies, but everybody in that lineup in that room, I feel like can be a formidable fit to get provide impact. Provide quality production in the scheme on the defensive side because the scheme is so universal. So many player skill sets fit the scheme and how it's supposed to be played. So I believe we're going to be a little bit more athletic on the D line this year. Me too, and that was going to be one of my points. My first point though, just the amount of experience, young experience, that's returning. You got guys like Edric Hill who played a lot of snaps last year, Jeremiah Beeman who played a lot of snaps towards the end of last year. You got Jordan Renard who played a lot of snaps last year. Go watch film. Jordan Renard played a lot of snaps last year, and then that's your interior, most part of your interior. Then you got veteran guys like Tim Keenan. You got the signee Stephen Boomer who just played a year of JUCO ball, and played a solid year. He's above 300. He's on the interior. You got Asaya Faga who's going to be I believe a quality depth piece when it comes to run fits and really plugging the run gaps in this. Sometimes we go to that true three front where we bring in, two true outside linebackers, and you bring in those. You take out a defensive end and you bring in your interior guy to play the end. And so guys like Faga, they're going to be needed, and Keenan and then Boomer, they're going to be needed to be those two to tackle on the guard on some of those stunts and those fits. And I think we're set up. I think we're set up with depth, and we're going to learn early. We saw exactly dealing a player-friendly scheme. Mars, let's go ahead and get the trolls out of here. We not tolerating it for the month of July for real. Like we here for conversation. If you want to troll, go to Twitter. Twitter is the troll space. All right. We tolerate trolling on Twitter. I love the trolling and the free publicity on Twitter. I love it. Hopefully, some of them in here are getting screenshots while I'm live again. I like when they do that, man. They get these screenshots and post like different little memes and stuff. Like I don't think they really understand like how much exposure that's giving me. They think that they're exposing something about me, but it's all because I won't write them back. Like that's crazy. Or I won't get them insider news. And I already showed y'all, man. I would never pay for an On3 Bama Online subscription ever. TDA, I was subscribed to them because it was free. Free newsletter. What's good, Davin? But yeah, like you were saying, the scheme is just so player friendly. Like guys that want to get to the quarterback want to get on his defensive front. That's why you saw a guy like Kelby Collins transfer from Florida. That's why you saw Keon Keeley stick it out and, go through that learning curve of learning how to play that true defensive end technique. And then LT Overton coming in, playing in that same bandit position off the edge, big body defensive end that specializes in getting to the quarterback, pass rushing type skill sets, getting to the quarterback, sealing the edges on your outside run containment, tracking, being able to have the speed and athleticism to get down the line and track, track the ball carrier from behind. It's all those things that matter in this scheme that's going to allow these guys to be active. And then the exotic stunts up front. These are guys that provide you the type of movement. That was a stunt ran by James Smith, Quay Russaw, and Justin Jefferson last year, and it was like a 3-man stunt. You had the second level Justin Jefferson. Russaw was at the Wolf position, and James Smith was at the defensive tackle position. He was head up over the guard. Russaw was shading the outside of the tackle, and Justin Jefferson, the strong side linebacker, he was, shaded over the tackle. And so the stunt was Russaw. He stunted. He rolled into the two, if I'm saying it right, he rolled into the 2 gap, the B gap. He rolled from so basically 4 to 2. Some people do numbers, some people do less. He rolled from the 5 to the 2. Justin Jefferson hit the 4, and James Smith slanted outside. So you saw, because of the speed and the patience and the get off, because of James Smith, his athleticism, right? And then we keep forgetting to mention James Smith. I don't know why I keep forgetting to mention James Smith, because he's due for a huge year. Huge year. His slant and his get off, when you have to deal with that with maybe a slimmer frame or a more athletic frame in Jeremiah Beeman or Edgerkill Jordan Renard, guys that are 6'4", 6'5", got that get off, can get that low pad level, generate that speed and power, and really get guys off balance. It's going to be something to deal with, especially going into year 2 in the scheme where guys are a lot more comfortable and they've seen a few things over the past year or so. So I think the D-line is going to benefit well from depth rotation. My rotational, and I'm going to say it like this, like tier 1 guys, and I'm talking about from the defensive, the true defensive front, which is your bandit to your defensive tackle, right? The Wolf is kind of like the Wolf is an outside linebacker, edge rusher playing defensive end, right? They flex out a lot, get dropped into coverage, but they really are pass rushing specialists. But they stay in that defensive end position alignment to provide a 4-man front. That's why you see the skill sets or the archetype of that position fit in a certain mold. Anywhere from 6'2", 6'3", to 6'5", and they're going to be anywhere from 240 to 260 in weight. And they got to be able to hold the edge. They're going to have to win against tight ends. They're going to have to be able to win against offensive tackles. And their skill sets are supposed to be able to provide a speed rush, right? That's what you want from the Wolf position. So I look at the 3 true defensive linemen that you're going to have up front. And that's the, first group. My first group I'm rolling out. I think Keon Keeley gets the nod for me. I know LT Overton played a lot last year. He came over with a lot more experience. But I think Keely will get the bulk load of that position. But I think as far as the amount of reps and split up between, I think you have a true solid 30-30-30 10 cut, 30-30-30 10 cut. So you got three guys there, you know, let's say for instance, every three drives, you'll see a rotation or whatever the situational is. You're going to see a solid dosage of Keely, Collins, Overton, or Keely, Overton, Collins, or Overton, Keely, Collins, or Collins, Overton, Keely. Like any week, I feel like you're going to see a rotation of those guys because the skill sets there. Um, you have so much there, and you don't want a guy like LT Overton who's, this is his draft year. He's coming to solidify his draft. You don't want him, running 50, 60 reps a game because now you're creating more opportunity for him to make a mistake. When you got Kelby Collins who's in a draft year, you divide those guys, reps up and keep them in situations that's favorable for their skill sets. You see good draft stock, you see good draft grades, and they got continue to maintain that tread on the tire. You got a younger guy like Keon Keeley who could go to the draft after this year. He would be eligible for the draft, but I think this will be his first year popping on the scene, and he can kind of man that bandit position going forward, being the returning veteran on next year's roster. I think him being in a first year starter Dallas Turner's type role, a first year starter / Will Anderson type feel is going to benefit. And then next year, that's going to look good. Sliding over to the defensive tackle, interior nose guard. Let's go defensive tackle first. I think that's where you're going to see James Smith man that starting position. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Edric Hill and Jeremiah Beeman like in the same position with those guys. Jordan Renard is there at the bandit and the defensive tackle position. So we've only named like 5 names, and you could literally create a 3-man front with those 5 names: James Smith, Jordan Renard, Kelby Collins, James Smith, Edric Hill, Keon Keeley, James Hill, Edric Hill. Edric Hill, Jordan Renard, and who else haven't I said? I said Keon Keeley, LT Overton. So all of these names, man, that all of these names that like are in this rotation, we know what these guys bring to the table, skill set wise, and we saw. Let's talk about this. Let's slide to this conversation. How many of us felt like Alabama's defensive front was so ineffective, was highly ineffective early in the season last year? Like, and we a lot of us credited it to it being a new system, a new scheme, adjusted from two gap to primarily gap shooting type scheme for the front. So attacking the gap, not necessarily gap shooting, but attacking gap type scheme. Um, I feel like the D line was definitely underperforming for what the defensive play calling was and how solid I believe Kane Womack was of a defensive play caller and a defensive mind. I don't think the D line was effective until you started seeing some of the younger guys get more reps that were used to being coming from high school, right? A year removed from high school. What's up, Mike Jones? Good to see you. A year removed from high school, right? Still in high school, and most what you're going to do in high school is get to the quarterback, get to the ball. We're slanting, we're stunting, but most high school programs are going to have aggressive D lines that are not going to try to hold up space. Guys that had been under Saban got used to that technique, and it was kind of a fail-safe type of system for a while, right? Try to dominate hold up two gaps, clog it up. If you could push that, you had to be a certain type of dude. Now this scheme, you can have just dudes, right? Not a certain type, just dudes. Go and unleash them, and now you have depth of that. So that's kind of my philosophy in wanting and understanding how the rotational situation was last year. I know that Kane Womack, he wants to utilize, 9 to 11 defensive linemen every week. Every week. Hold on, I gotta call you, man. Gotta call my sister back. I think we saw improvement. You talking about we say we need improvement from our pass rush. but we still had a top 10 pass rushing defense. We still had 20 plus sacks, I believe, last year, if I'm not mistaken. QB pressures. I think securing tackles is the biggest thing this year. From last year's defense, from the biggest change we can make for this year's defense is securing the tackles. Against Vanderbilt, we had 9 missed tackles in the first quarter behind the line of scrimmage. 9 missed tackles behind the line of scrimmage against Vanderbilt in the first quarter. And then against Oklahoma in the first half, 16 total missed tackles. Let's not talk about the turnovers. Let's not talk about penalties. We're talking about just missed tackles. That's football. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And appreciate the likes, man. We got 31 in the chat. Continue to run it up. So that's D-line rotation depth. You talk about James Smith, Kelby Collins. I think Keon Keeley, James Smith, Tim Keenan, and your wolf right there be Quay Rusaw. And then behind them, LT Overton, Jordan Renard, Edric Hill, Jeremiah Beeman. One of those three right there, Jordan Renard, Edric Hill, and Jeremiah Beeman, to me are the steals and will be like the X factor rotational guys for us. You're getting so much. Do y'all remember that group of defensive linemen where Raekwon Davis, lead them things loud, where Raekwon Davis was coming off the bench? He was like the second string guy. You remember how dominant that front was? And I want to say that was the 2017 to a year. Jalen Hurts first year, second year. Jalen Hurts second year, Tua first year, then Tua's first year as full-time starter. Like, man, that was, I don't know, chat. Like, I feel like this the type of defensive line, because you had like 8 or 9 guys that at any time was flashing. Facts. And like I said, Edric Hill is one of them. Jordan Renard was a big one. Jeremiah Beeman in the Michigan game. Huge game against Michigan defensively. Tim Keenan, let's wake Tim Keenan up again. One more year, Tim. You came back, you got unfinished business. I think this is his year. Looked good in spring ball too. Tim Keenan looked fresh. Look healthy. That was R. Davis' best year because the focus wasn't on him that much with that time. Exactly. And that's what I said about, this group here. You got so much on the edge, Keon Keeley, Keon Keeley, Kelby Collins, who was doing work at Florida last year, LT Overton at the defensive end. Then you go to the Wolf side, you got Quay Rusaw, Yanzi Pierre, you got Justin Hill, the freshman, you got Ja Latham over there in that group. You got, who's the other edge rush guy over there? Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Quay Yanzi. Oh, Noah Carter. Like, a lot of athleticism. Not saying all of those guys are going to see the field, but a lot of athleticism. When you have to really, on offensively playing against a front like that, you have to scheme to really key and take one of these assets away every play. It makes it hard. And then you got to think interior-wise, you got so many different skill sets. You got maulers. You got guys that clog up holes. But then you got guys that could really be playing bandit, and Jordan Renard, Edric Hill, and Jeremiah Beeman. They can go play defensive end and be effective and get to the quarterback. You at Bama right now, you can have a 4-man front right now, a true 4-man defensive line front, and not lose pass rushing abilities. You can have a solid 4-man defense, a true D-line front right now. Let's say we take Keon Keeley, place him at one defensive end. You take LT Overton, place him at another defensive end. You put James Smith at one interior defensive lineman, and then you put Jeremiah Beeman at the other one. 200-300-pound guys that get to the quarterback, pass rush specialists on the interior, 2 guys with the skill set on the outside, big body frames that can secure the edge. Alabama has skill sets across the defense that realistically, if need be, I feel like this team could effectively put out personnel groupings, whether you put a DB in as a linebacker or a linebacker in as a DB, or a third linebacker. You could run a traditional 4-3 type scheme or alignment with personnel because of the athleticism you have up front. You're not losing any speed up front by putting a bandit classified strong side defensive end. You're not losing anything um, placing him at the other wolf position. So I like what the front is up front. I like the depth there, and I think Alabama's set up for that group is probably the most talent rich in there. Remember when you were dodging to play me on NCAA 25 after I clearly subbed to you? Still don't know you. And it's funny you come in on a live talk to talk about NCAA 25. Speaking of, 26 was lit, y'all. Y'all got to see that. If you didn't watch the live stream on TikTok, I got clips from it, right? Got clips from it. I'll say this. I like the changes. I like the updates. I like everything. Um, I think we're in a good position with that game to do some quality content starting August 4th. 5th, we'll do every game. We're going to do our reenactment. And I got some people coming on as offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I'll be reenacting as a head coach. We'll have somebody playing the game. I won't be playing it. We'll have somebody playing it. So the realistic coaching aspect and everything will be applied to it. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Good content live. We're going to do it live. The setup is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So that's going to be fun. What else, y'all? What else I got for y'all? What else I got for y'all? I really just want to talk defensive line because I got to talk with Rock Montgomery yesterday. He was talking about how, a lot of the D line is probably going to be dominant. The O line is nasty, but the D line going to be dominant. How much work they get in, back and forth in these workouts. A lot of off season. What's up, Compton? Good to see you. Yeah, y'all continue to hit that like button, family. Thank y'all for being here again. A lot of off-season personal development going on with all these players, utilizing that NIL, traveling, getting around to the specialists, the guys that's going to help them sharpen their skills, and that's what you like to see. That's what you like to see. Hey, Kareem, it come with the territory, man. It come with the territory. And they'll sit there and read y'all comments and get mad because y'all support the content that you support, but they doing the same thing on their end. And they mad because they got to pay for it. Like, there's no way you... Anyway. Someone compare 90 Jordan Renard to Overton. Do you agree? 90 Jordan Renard to Overton. I don't think that as far as what you mean, do I agree? Compare them. What you mean compare them? I think Jordan Renard is more so of a, let me think, interior. Ashawn Robinson. Jordan Renard, very tall, lengthy, athletic, interior defensive lineman. I think Ashawn Robinson played defensive end for the most part, but Ashawn Robinson, that frame, that size, that speed. Yep. You didn't go to Alabama this summer, Pops left you. Left you how? But we'll be making a trip soon, y'all. I'm going to be doing some vlogging content. I probably won't post it till I get back from school, just so I could keep everybody wondering what's going on. And listen, the more people talk trash about us, man, I love it because our subscribers, we've been getting like onesies and twosies here, and we haven't been doing any content. Exactly, Kareem. I think Jordan Renard and Jeremiah Beeman give you those type of interior guy feels, man. Who's another one that came through Bama interior guys, man? So many. I think we got a more athletic Terrence Cody and Tim Keenan. If he just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just feel like Tim just don't wake up till it's a big moment. If he came out just vicious the whole game, he'd be nasty. James Smith was playing hurt a lot last year. I don't see him not. James Smith gonna be. I think we got Quentin Williams and James Smith chat. Oh, okay, Compton. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Dang, your pops left you? You ain't missing that, man. It's hot as hell down here. You ain't missing nothing. Not right now. Wait till fall, though. That's when you're going to need to be coming this way. But everybody, I appreciate y'all, man. We done went past our 30-minute mark. I appreciate y'all for hanging out, talking with me. Let me get in here and finish packing. That's what I was doing when we first started. I was separating all my clothes, packing. Getting. Oh Lord, I almost dropped my phone. Almost dropped my phone. Thank God I got some cat-like reflex. But getting ready for my trip, y'all. I'm excited about this opportunity that I'm able to take advantage of. Being a military veteran has its benefits when it comes to trying to further your education. Shout out to my guy in the chat, Kareem, man. He had put me on some stuff looked into a few months ago, and that's what led me to this. So Kareem and a few other people that, got that ties to that type of stuff. So I appreciate y'all, man. And don't forget, continue to support, man, liking and sharing. We have charitable donation opportunities, man. Direct donations. You want to support the Coach Smook Network directly. Direct donos to PayPal, Venmo, or Cashapp at Coach Smook Network. It's on the red phone we on right now. So make sure y'all sending it. Anything else, any other support, man. Like I said, we are really trying to get some things done before the season kicks off, and your support would greatly be appreciated. Whether it's liking and sharing or donating. My thing is this: God is going to do what He said He was going to do. Right? He's going to fulfill every promise to you. All right? He's going to fulfill it, and He promised that this year, 2025, this year for the Coach Smook Network, good year. And I know, man. Listen, I don't base the success of the Coach Smook Network off of a Twitter following, okay? And I don't care. I don't base the success or the validity of what we do as far as our content off of troll pages. I need this clip. So if I got my mods in here that can clip this. But for people to, say it's fake, this, that, and the third, and they continue to follow, they continue to regurgitate the same thing. They continue to get in DMs and group messages and all this stuff. There must be something desirable about what we're doing. And the fact that you can't find the flaws in it, or the flaws that you're trying to claim aren't there, right? Because there's flaws in our work. We may call a recruit Malachi Lee. We might say he's going to commit to Bama, but he didn't. It happens. That's not the point. The point is, when people are going out their way to try to bring shame to your name, sometimes you just need to sometimes you need to add fuel to the fire, right? Especially when you know what they're saying is not true. Because they could say it, they could have 10,000 people saying it, but that's just eyes on me. So when there's 10,000 people are saying it, the 10 or 15 people that they're saying it to, they're looking, and they're going to find their own way to find out whatever. And that's how we're getting to grow. So I appreciate it. At the end of the day, I appreciate the support, though. That's very helpful too, to see you guys coming out on there and saying things and validating. And I like the fact that you all don't try to make it personal. People say we haven't been right about anything when it comes to recruiting, when we're literally live hours before a Fong bomb is dropped, or we're live and we say look out for this, and then a Fong bomb is dropped, or we look at a live stream that we did in May. We were talking about Xavier Griffin. It was actually April 28th. We were talking about Xavier Griffin and how the recruiting season was going to heat up if we can get his attention. Then May 1st, you see an article posted by whoever, Bama Online, whoever. And then same thing happened the following month after the visit started. Like, I like the fact that our sources and the way we do work is producing the same information that they're getting hours before. That means we're on the right track. And even when we're not saying what they're saying, they always end up circling back around to our original. And so I love it. I love God having us in this place. And you could tell who the haters are, man. They get mad. And I think it's so funny. So I enjoy it. Continue to support, continue to share, continue to like, continue to support, y'all. The support is very much needed and helpful and appreciated during this time. Again, thank y'all for being here. Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Y'all be blessed on today. Keep your heads up, stay positive. I'll be checking in again, hopefully tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. All right, y'all be blessed. Roll Tide.